my lovely Atlantis Scalar peeps. Got my cheat sheet here. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I've said this a lot of times, but the energy repair, protection, and enhancement is really quite powerful, especially since we added 7 new additions in mid-October 2021, and the blockage of bleed through from other lives February 2nd of 2022. So I want you guys, before you order a whole bunch of services, I'm trying to talk you out of not spending a whole bunch of money, to give it a chance. Sometimes it takes 3 months, especially if you have a whole lot of trapped emotions, especially if you've had a lot of trauma in other lives, etc. So, for example, releasing trapped emotions can help with weight and heart disease. It could be a problem with needing to reunite that particular soul fragment, and so on and so forth. So give it at least 6 weeks, up to 7 weeks before you order other services. I don't mind doing them, but I'm just, who wants to spend any money in this time of horrible inflation? Now, I want to explain about the Atlantis Scalar tune-up. We have the ERPE tune-up, but we also have the Atlantis Scalar tune-up, which means, for example, if you had the weight optimization, but you're not as happy as you want to be, then you can order the AS tune-up for that particular service, or for, high blood pressure, etc. And the reason that's kind of important is because we add physiology, to the intent, or I do, to the intent statements all the time. For example, like some of the recent additions to age reversal, we get rid of all of the senescent cells in the physical body. Now, I've also added a lot of adverbs to the intent script, like immediately and permanently and completely. Okay. So that really makes it even more powerful. All new hair growth in the physical body is going to be its natural color. Degeneration is completely stopped and reversed. The skin in the physical body is in its ideal and perfected and natal state, newborn baby skin. Stopping and undoing oxidative damage, increasing collagen in the dermis of the skin, increasing the activity of fibroblasts that make collagen, just, all sorts of stuff like that. Oh yeah, increasing nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, increasing the activity and the amount of superoxide dismutase in the cells in the mitochondria, lengthening the telomeres to the maximum length, increasing nitric oxide, super beats, increasing that. For hair growth, I've added, there's so much anyway, but we've added to block the expression of any genes that might contribute to thinning hair or alopecia. And also prolonging the anagen phase of hair growth to the maximum period of time. That's important. Follicular miniaturization, the miniaturization of follicles in the scalp, are kind of like what happens with balding or alopecia, thinning hair. And so I have it that is going to be completely stopped, permanently stopped, immediately stopped and reversed. And also the response of scalp hair follicles to dihydrotestosterone. I make sure that is absolutely ideal. Weight, we have all the things that I've talked to you guys before, adding the expression of genes that contribute to excess and unwanted weight gain, stop. And insulin resistance, obviously stopped. Leptin resistance, we tackle that. The emotional trigger for the appetite, no more. Insulin response to ingested carbohydrates, is normalized. Insulin amount in the body should be normal. Cortisol levels, and the control of cortisol in the body, normal. Getting rid of abdominal wall fat, intra-abdominal fat, retroperitoneal fat, blocking the conversion of excess calories into yellow adipose tissue is blocked. There's just a lot here. Okay. And let's see, let me do a couple more, I guess. Bear with me, people. Some that are going to be real helpful. For cancer, we do a lot there too, like cutting off the blood supply to the tumor, having and accepting a body that is free of cancer, because there are some people that get some secondary gain out of it. So I make sure that that is stopped. Destroying the DNA of all cancer cells, blocking the expression of all genes associated with the development and growth of those cancer cells. High blood pressure. Not only do I make sure that the systolic blood pressure is in a certain range and that the diastolic blood pressure is in a certain range, but we also tackle the angiotensin-renin system. We make sure that peripheral vascular resistance of all blood vessels is completely normal. And again, we add nitric oxide, increasing it to the maximum level and blocking the expression of all genes that contribute to hypertension, or genes that contribute to hypertension. Sorry about that. So there's, I've got so many things here. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is if you want to do a tune-up on certain things, then I would advise it. But again, the ERPE is super important too. All right, I think that I am going to read from Eric's book. All right, where did we leave off here? This is My Life After Death and Memoir from Heaven, best book ever. My body looked like me, but it didn't look like me. I looked pale. My nose didn't look right. Even my fingers seemed too long. It was like I was looking at a cheap imitation of myself, a wax figure in one of those museums, a puppet without a puppeteer. Even though I didn't feel any empathy for my body, I had this need to put it back the way it had been only moments ago, sitting at my desk with a normal looking head. I didn't want to crawl back inside my body and reanimate it or anything. I just wanted to clean it up. I wanted to help. God, I wish he had. The scene in front of me was so weird. It was like being in the movies and you see all the gory shit and you say, oh, whatever, that's just entertainment. For me, it didn't seem like real life playing out right in front of me. It seemed separate from me, like it was playing on a screen and I was in the audience watching instead of being one of the actors. I wanted to find the gun and pick it up. It's weird because when I was laying my head in his lap crying and stuff, I looked around for the gun. I didn't see it. And I think he shielded it from me. I really do. I went to find the gun and pick it up. When I saw it and I reached for it, I saw my new hand reaching for it. It didn't look it didn't look light or translucent, the type of thing you would expect to see with a spirit or a ghost. It did have a kind of glow to it though, silver, shimmery. I know it sounds weird, but it looks solid and transparent at the same time. Think about it. When you look at your reflection in dark water, it looks solid, but it's just a transparent reflection in the water. Meld those two, and that's what it looked like. When I tried to grab or touch something, my hand went right through it. I guess it felt like a tingly pressure, but it didn't feel like regular touch. I tried to touch my body, but I couldn't grab a hold of it. Then I tried to strum the strings on my Fender guitar, but my fingers slipped through them too. No sound. I remember feeling pretty sad then, thinking I'd never get to play music again. Next, I heard my mother running upstairs. I could tell she was climbing up the stairs more than one at a time, tripping. I always do that anyway. She entered the room. She came into the room, but she didn't come in delicately. She came in like she was on fire, a flaming cannonball barreling through anything in its path. My point of view rose up like I was flying. I wasn't standing on the ground like a human. Even though I felt like I was hovering up high, I suddenly felt really small, like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Still, I didn't feel the same kind of shame or sense of regret I expected to. I just felt small. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I didn't feel the need to rush to her. I had this emotional detachment while watching her, but it wasn't the same emotional distance I felt when I was about to pull the trigger. or when I first left my body and looked down at it. It was an emotional distance that comes with an objective observation that made me feel separated from my feelings of remorse and shame. Anyway, I'll stop there. I think it's very painful for me to read this. I can't wait to get past the first 3 chapters. So that is it. You guys, please share this if you can, and hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel, please. All right. I love you all. Of course, you know that. Bye-bye.